Hello, my name is James. Welcome to this video on the number of the beast. This will be the first video of a series. We will be examining Revelation 13:18 in great detail. We'll be using the King James Pure Bible Search software. Download it for free, purebiblesearch.com. I encourage you to verify the numbers that I'll be discussing in this video for yourselves using this software. Here is a image of a album from a heavy metal band, and there's a song on this album called The Number of the Beast. Maybe that's the title of the album as well. And here in quotation are some lyrics from that song: 666, the number of the beast. Now, is 600 the number of the beast? We're going to put that to the test in this video. And there's going to be a great deception surrounding this number in the near future. That's why this is an important topic. Two numbers we'll be interested in are the numbers 74 and 47. Here you can see the value of the name Jesus using this simple cipher is 74, and the value of the word beast is 47. Notice that both words contain 5 letters. And 74 is a special case of the number 37. 37 doubled. And the numbers 37, 47, and 74 are encoded in the English King James Bible from cover to cover. These numbers are also patterned in the Hebrew and the Greek. So there are multiple witnesses to this. Let's go with it. Revelation 13:18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And I want to point out this is the 18th verse of Revelation 13, and 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. So we're going to notice real simple patterns, and we'll see these patterns over and over again, from the simple to the complex. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to focus in on that first word here. As you see it there, capitalized. We're going to go to where that word first occurs in the Bible, and let's see if we find a beast. Let's go Genesis 22, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. The phrase "and it came to pass" occurs 396 times in the King James Bible, 66 times 6. The phrase "I am" occurs 216 times in the New Testament, and that's 6 times 6 times 6. And think about the significance of the number 6 in the Bible. There are 66 books in the Bible. In the 66th book, we learn of a number, 666, and that number has to do with man and beast, and it is on the 6th day that man and beast are created. We'll go to that 6th day in a subsequent video. Verse 2, and he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. That phrase "into the" occurs in 666 verses of the King James Bible, and of course 666 is a multiple of 74. Value the name Jesus using the simple English cipher. Verse 3, and Abraham rose up early in the morning, and saddled his ass, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Now, I'm only putting 1 or 2 patterns on each slide. We're gonna emphasize more of the words, more verses, less patterns, because we can just get caught up. But understand that the numbers 47, 74, 37 are encoded. We can take this one verse and derive multiple patterns out of it. So we'll save that for the naysayers if we have to make a response video. Verses 4 and 5. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes, and saw the place far off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. That phrase, and I, case sensitive, occurs 777 times in the King James Bible. And let's just take a trip to the 777th occurrence of this word. Revelation 21:7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Not only is it the 777th occurrence, this is also the 703rd verse, which is the 37th triangular number that this phrase occurs in. And 703 is the next triangular number after 666. It occurs in 407 chapters of the Bible, 37 times 11. And Revelation 21 is the 259th chapter of the Bible, and that's 37 times 7. A lot of 37s in that one phrase. Let's go back to Genesis 22, verse 6. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. Now I've emphasized the first clause of this verse. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. That's a picture of Jesus Christ bearing the cross. The phrase the fire occurs in 148 verses, or 74 times 2 verses of the King James Bible. And the word cross has a value of 74 and occurs 28 times in the King James Bible. And of course 28 is 4 times 7, or 7 times 4. We'll see the number 28 again later on in this video. Here's the verse, Genesis 22:7. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? 37 words here. Lamb occurs 74 times in the Old Testament, and all forms of the word lamb occur a total of 188 times, or 47 times 4, in the Bible. King James Bible, that is. That word here, this is what directed us to this verse. This is the first occurrence of the word here, capitalized as we saw in Revelation 13:18. Here is wisdom. And here we follow that word, and it took us to a verse, and it has a beast in there. And a lamb is a beast. Go to Leviticus 11. The law of the beast is there. There's clean beast and unclean beast. And Leviticus 11 contains 47 verses. I also want to point out here in Genesis 22:7 that the word here, case sensitive, occurs 18 times in the Old Testament, 6 plus 6 plus 6. And the phrase my son occurs in 47 chapters of the Old Testament. But let's continue. Genesis 22:8. And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. The words provide and himself combined occur 329 times, which is a multiple of 47 in the Old Testament. 47 times 7 to be specific. Verse 9. And they came to the place which God had told him of, and Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. Notice he's laid upon the wood. It's like Jesus was on the wood. The phrase an altar occurs 47 times in the Old Testament. Verse 10, and Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. That word forth occurs 888 times in the King James Bible, 74 times 12. That is the value of the name Jesus in the Greek as found in Matthew 1 verse 16. There's 3 different spellings of the name Jesus in the Greek, and one of them has a value of 888. Verse 11, and the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. The phrase of the Lord occurs in 148 verses of the Old Testament. Again, a multiple of 74. Verse 12, and he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him, for now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. The phrase anything occurs 74 times in the Old Testament. Verse 13, and Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and beheld, Behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up there for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And there we have another beast, a ram. And a ram is a clean beast. And the phrase took the occurs in 94 verses of the Old Testament, a multiple of 47. Let's finish with Genesis 22. This is the last verse we'll look at in this chapter. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. That phrase, it shall, occurs 555 times in the Old Testament. The word Christ occurs 555 times in the King James Bible. Let's go back to Revelation 13:18. Let's get a second witness to the beast, being the Lamb. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, the number 666 is the number of the man. Okay, we are to count the number of the beast. This isn't a trivial verse. That's why it says, here is wisdom. It means put your thinking cap on. Right? The number of the beast isn't given in the verse. The number of a man is given in the verse. And we're going to study that. We're going to study the man in later videos. And for now, we're emphasizing the beast. So, count. Let's go to the first occurrence of the word count. Just like we did with the word here, we're going to go to the first occurrence of the word count. And let's see what we find. And we'll take it from the top, Exodus 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. And notice that time is being marked here. The word mark occurs 37 times in the King James Bible. The phrase the beginning, case sensitive, occurs 47 times in the Old Testament. And the phrase the first occurs 74 times in the New Testament. And let's take a quick trip to that 74th occurrence in the New Testament. Revelation 22:13. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. And of course, we know the name Jesus has a value of 74. Back to Exodus 12, verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th month of this day, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. The word according occurs 666 times in the Old Testament. Here we have a lamb. Verse 4. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Okay, that word count, this is the first occurrence of the word count. And what are we counting? A lamb. We're counting the number of the beast. The phrase the number occurs 74 times in the Old Testament. Again, the value of the name Jesus, for it is the number of a man. Okay, here's that word according. According 666 times in the Old Testament. Lamb, count, number, beast. It's all here. The word count occurs 26 times in the King James Bible. And the Word of God is composed of, in English, is composed of 26 letters, the 26 letters of the alphabet. Exodus 12:5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. The phrases the sheep and the goats combine for a total of 74 occurrences in the Old Testament. Verse 6. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. That number 14, go to Matthew 1, and you'll see the 14 generations emphasized there in the 40th book of the Bible, Matthew. But the word kill occurs in 74 verses of the Old Testament. Verse 7, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorpost of the houses wherein they shall eat it. The word blood occurs 447 times in the King James Bible. And in 282 verses of the Old Testament, of course, 282 is a multiple of 47. Verse 8, and they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. The phrase "they shall" occurs 888 times in the Old Testament, a multiple of 74. And as I mentioned earlier, the value of one of the spellings of the name Jesus in the Greek has a value of 888. That's found in Matthew 1, verse 16. So let's go see this beast. Let's go back to the book of Revelation. We're done here in Exodus 12. Revelation 5:6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. Now, earlier in the video, I pointed out that both the name Jesus and the word beast have 5 letters. Okay, here we are in Revelation 5. The lamb with 7 horns and 7 eyes. This is the 5th beast mentioned in the book of Revelation. We're going to count the beasts in the book of Revelation as well. And notice that this beast is in the midst of the 4 beasts, the 4 that were mentioned previously to it. And let's think about the 7 horns and the 7 eyes, the number 7 being attached to this beast, because in the story of Noah's Ark, he is told to take 7 of the clean beasts on board the ark and 2 of the unclean beast. This lamb, this beast, is clean. Let's look at the unclean. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, 2 horns on this lamb, 7 on the other. This is an unclean beast because it's like a lamb. It's not a lamb. This is a wolves and sheep clothing for sure. The word "like" occurs 94 times in the New Testament, 47 times too. That number 47, we see in a lot of that number. I believe that to be the number of the beast. This beast is significant, maybe even more significant than the beast that rises up out of the sea. This is the beast that causes everybody to take the mark. This is the beast that has the people make the image. This is the beast that performs the miracles. This lamb. Okay, this is the 8th beast, by the way, the 8th beast if you count them. That'll be a future video, but this is the 8th beast. I just had to mention that this number 47 is attached. You can find this number 47 in this verse very easily. Lamb occurs in 26 verses of the King James Bible, and lamb, case sensitive as you see, it occurs 26 times in Revelation, and we are told to count the number of the beast. And this number 26, the word count, 26 times, 26 letters in the English language. The simple English gematria of lamb has value of 28, and lambs has value of 47. There is that number 47 again. So there are a total of 28 occurrences of the word lamb capitalized when we count the 2 possessive, the Lamb's Book of Life, for example. So it'll be 28 total in the book of Revelation. And we are told to count the number of the beast, and the word lamb has a value using the cipher of 28. There's a connection there. Okay, so lamb capitalized as you see it only occurs in the Gospel of John in the book of Revelation. Let's go to the first occurrence of the word lamb capitalized in the Bible. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 29. The next day John seeth Jesus coming unto him, and saith, Behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. That word taketh occurs 74 times in the King James Bible. Notice we have 2 Johns here. We have St. John, well, they're both saints, but the Gospel of John of the Apostles, and John the Baptist. And of course, John's name has a value of 47, and Jesus' value of 74. And this is not a coincidence. There is a great deception coming concerning the number of the beast. People are going to take it. When you try to tell them that the number of the beast is 47, they're not going to believe you. They're going to just, in their mind, Revelation 13:18, they're going to say 666. The number of the beast is 666. It's right there in the Bible. It's 666. Therefore, they'll be okay with taking a name associated with the number 47, or the number 47, or the mark that'll be connected with it. So this video is the first video of a whole series of a detailed examination of Revelation 13:18, and the number of the beast, the number of a man, 666. In fact, an upcoming video will be on the 6th day of creation. We're going to go there and examine it very closely. In fact, what the real true Bible code is found on the 6th day in Genesis 1, 6th day of creation in Genesis 1. If you want to consider there would be a Bible code, that is where it's at. And we'll go there in a future video. I also have a video in the works called the Noah Code, or at least that's what I think I'm going to call it. And it's going to be very interesting. We're going to deep dive into the story of the flood. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on making many more videos, and we're going to focus on these last days, the book of Revelation, the Bible. We're going to go into the stories, and we're going to find out what these things be for ourselves using the Word of God. God bless, and bye for now.